Guys, Teacher Paul here, and today we're learning about the history of IKEA. This is the myths and facts. It's from a channel that is called Creative House. So if you want to check that out, link is in the description. And this is a request from Susan. So we're going to check out some of IKEA. And here, if you're new to the channel, this is my Scandinavian channel. We do a lot of things from Sweden, Denmark, actually Nordic countries, Norway, and Iceland, all the Nordic countries, Finland as well. But let's go straight to the video, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go.
Did you know that IKEA, a multinational company that sells ready-to-assemble furniture, has a history filled with certain myths? Well, let's take a look at the backstory of IKEA.
Wait a second, you're telling me there are myths of IKEA? I know everybody's going to say IKEA, but we know better here.
Full name Fyodor Ingvar Kamprad.
Charles
Ingvar.
Ingvar.
A Swedish billionaire businessman and was also...
Honestly, like whenever I hear Ingvar, I think of Charles Ingvar, and I think of him, picking up that phone and saying, "I har en plan," to open IKEA. Oh man. Honestly, he does look a little bit like Charles Ingvar, like not gonna lie.
Swedish billionaire businessman and was also known as the founder of IKEA. The man was surrounded by various myths. He was famous for his economic discipline and hard work. He started his business journey at age of 7 when he sold matches. He realized that he could gain profit by buying matches cheaply in bulk and selling them at low price individually.
Nice.
By age of 10, he was selling Christmas cards, pencils, flower seeds, greeting cards,
That's
etc.
amazing.
He started IKEA in 1943 at just
1943. That's 82 years. 82 years of IKEA, guys. 82 years. 82 years. That's pretty cool. So in 20 years time or 18 years time, they're gonna be a century company. That's amazing.
He started IKEA in 1943 at just the age of 17.
He was 17 when he started IKEA?
Were based on his name's start initials. I from Ingvar,
Charles
and K
Ingvar.
from Kamprad. The other two initials, E was from Elmtarid and A was from Agennarid, which were the names of his farm and village respectively where he grew up.
Cool.
He started with selling pens, picture frames, watches and jewelry. He got his first orders via telephone and traditional mail. It was in 1948 that
he did so much for the community. That is so nice. IKEA has saved so many, so many newlyweds. People who get married and looking for furniture. That's literally what I did.
Began to sell furniture of local manufacturers. His idea was to sell cheap but high quality furniture.
That's so cool.
Soon, Kamprad opened his first IKEA showroom. But the challenge was that the company
showroom,
had to
that's what
sell
you call
their
it.
own furniture to win over their opponents. It was when one of IKEA's worker removed a leg of the table so it could fit in the car that the idea of selling kit furniture, which is also known as ready-to-assemble furniture, came up. From there onwards, all furnitures were sold in flat pack and needed to be assembled by consumers.
I wonder if the tool market really helped them. Like there must have been something like people developing tools for home, for DIY. It must have been the same time where people started doing these type of tools that can be used at home. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like back then they didn't have a lot of tools, and whenever like a new tool came in, it helped IKEA or IKEA. It helped IKEA grow. You know what I'm saying? Because you need tools to set this up at home as well. So the more the tools got advanced, the more IKEA became relevant and useful as well.
Cost of furniture reduced due to it, and people somehow started enjoying the idea of assembling furniture themselves. It
Yeah,
was called the IKEA effect.
that's what I'm telling you guys. There are two things that IKEA helps you with. One, you just got married, you need furniture, you're in a new house, and you don't have the money, the budget. You go to IKEA, it helps you. And two, it's relationship building, because you sit with your newly your wife, your husband, and you do something together. You build together. It gives you the sense of, we're building this together, we're working together. It's a great exercise to, have each other um, working together. So IKEA is just the way to go.
Assembling furniture themselves. It was called the IKEA effect. IKEA has furnitures with weird names, and that was connected to Kamprad's dyslexia. He had problem with remembering inventory numbers of the items, so he invented
Really?
the system of naming the products. For example, he used names of Scandinavian men for bookcases and names of flowers and plants for bed textiles.
I did not know that. Guys, I thought that was the Swedish word for that thing. I thought I was learning Swedish every time I went to IKEA. So you're telling me those are names instead of actually the translation?
While generally a private person, Kamprad had published a few notable works. He first detailed his philosophies of frugality and simplicity in a manifesto entitled A Testament of a Furniture Dealer, which was
Susan has just said, you can also see if you can be in a long relationship with these people. So I guess it's the IKEA test, or the IKEA test, to see if you are going to live. So before getting married, build the furniture with your partner, with your fiance, and if you survive the IKEA test, then you're gonna be good. Oh man, that's funny.
released in 1976. Kamprad also worked with Swedish journalists on the book Leading by Design, the IKEA story.
Can you hear me?
In this autobiographical book, Kamprad further describes his philosophies and the trials as well as triumphs of founding the IKEA. In next few decades, IKEA began to boom, but Kamprad preferred living in modesty. He continued buying clothes from flea market. He always flew economy class and stayed in moderate hotels while traveling.
There are a few things that I agree, but there are things that I think that for a businessman like him, he doesn't need to fly economy, because, not because of his own ego, but because it's just more comfortable. You get more leg room. And if you're traveling like business class, because you are traveling for business, right? There's no problem in that. You're not going to be less humble. But I do understand that whenever you get the taste of luxury, it kind of goes to your head, right? But I feel like we need to protect people like Ingvar. We need to protect him. Like, if he is traveling long hours or traveling often, I think he deserves to have a comfortable flight. So I wouldn't see any issues of him flying first class or business if he wants to. But economy is just a little bit too much, I would say.
Soon, it became part of the company's culture. Like workers had to write on both sides of paper to maximize the use. But journalists later found out his luxurious villa and his Porsche. It seemed that Kamprad's story of modesty were mostly myth.
What? Really? I was not expecting that.
Another controversial fraction of IKEA is Kamprad's connection with fascists. In 1994, the personal letters of the Swedish fascist Per Engdahl were made public posthumously, revealing that Kamprad had joined Engdahl's pro-fascist new Swedish movement in 1942 at just the age of 60.
That was a dark
Kamprad
turn.
had raised funds and recruited members for the group at least as late as September 1945.
That's after
When
the
he
war.
quit the group is unknown, but he remained a friend of Engdahl until the early 1950s. Kamprad claimed that it was his greatest mistake and youthful stupidity. In today's time, IKEA earns more than 34 billion euros per year. It is
Wow.
most famous furniture store in the world.
It is
Ingvar
indeed.
died at the age of 91 in 2018 due to pneumonia.
Oh man, that sucks. That was a good video. Guys, if you want to go support the YouTuber who made this video, it's Creative House. Link is in the description. Go check them out. But that plot twist in the end, I was not expecting that. Not expecting that. But as I said, guys, he's a billionaire with a B. 54 billion. He's allowed to have a big house. He's allowed to have a Porsche. He's allowed to. It doesn't matter like if he spoils himself, you know. I don't think people need to act modest or be modest. Of course, be humble because your money doesn't make you better than anyone else. But, you know, if you have the money, live in comfort, you know. You can spoil something because that Porsche is 0.001% of his fortune. It's not like he's recklessly spending money, you know. Honestly, like if you buy a $1 million house, that's not even 0.1% of a billion. He had 54 billion. Do you understand 54 billion? That's crazy. 10% of that is 5.4 billion. 1% of that is 540 million. He can afford a house. It's not like, you know, he's splurging. The house it showed there, that's what, a $5 million house? That is 0.001% of what he had. So it's not controversial for him to have a nice house and a Porsche. And if that's all he had, then, you know, that's humble to me. In my opinion, that's still very modest. Still very modest, I would say. I would say. Because if you are 54 billion, if you're worth 54 billion, dude, it's very modest to just have one Porsche and one house. That's all I'm saying. Now, the other part, I don't know. Is that verified? He's part of a group? That's crazy. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I will see you on the next video. If you want to watch full movie reaction series and shows, I've reacted to more than 40 Scandinavian movies and shows, so you can check that out. On my Patreon or on Buy Me Coffee. Link is in the pinned comments. And click over here for more, and I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.